Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Thai Gaur Pimaranti Hari Hari Bol. Is the light too bright? Or you can see okay? Okay. Okay. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Ita Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Pashatai Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Jaisacinandana Dev ki jai, Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Bhagwan ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I'm sure a lot of you were here for last week's very exciting yagya and presentation by His Grace Dhruva Prabhu. So this is more sedate, no fire involved, hopefully, except in the kitchen, but hopefully in everyone's heart there'll be a fire. So I've been meditating on this topic for probably about a year. So some amount of time, and I tried to keep it straightforward as I could, without a use of lot of Sanskrit terminology or slokas necessarily. Sunday feast is not meant to be Bhagavatam class per se, where one dives deep into Shastra and assumes a working knowledge of Shastra. But I didn't try to dumb it down either. It has to have content, but I tried to put the content in hopefully straightforward English. I want you to listen with your heart. Bhakti requires something unique. It requires investment of our heart into something very profound. So I titled this God's Inner Life. There's Sanskrit words for that, but I kept it simple. So, who's God? Different faiths have different names for the Lord. Our job or our purpose in life is not to quarrel with folks that have other faiths. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that when I meet a person from a different faith, I pray to the Lord, my dear Lord, it is wonderful to see how this individual is inspired by love for you. I don't know the particular details of their faith or how they reciprocate with you, but please bless me so I can appreciate their faith. And Srila Prabhupada himself, when devotees were in Iran, there's a pastime where the devotees were going out to go do Harinam. Sripada Mataji, you might remember this. And Srila Prabhupada stopped them. He said, you don't need to do this. Here they're announcing the name of the Lord throughout the day, through the mosques. So you don't need to disturb their faith. They have faith in the name of God. So God, depending on the individual's faith, is oftentimes described as Allah, Jesus Christ, Jehovah, Bhagwan, which is a title for God possessing all opulences. Bhagyavan. Bhagya means opulences, Van means full of all opulences. In our faith, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Bhagwan, God is Sri Krishna. Swayam Bhagwan, we like to call him, the source of all descent of avatars. Here, there's a beautiful picture of Lord Krishna holding up Govardhan Hill. So, we speak on the authority of Srila Prabhupada. He's the giver of bhakti to us. Grace means to receive something that we don't have access to. Lord, God, Krishna, resides in the spiritual world. We reside in the material world. So for someone in the spiritual world to give us access in the material world is an act of grace. And grace occurs through the Lord Himself, Lord Krishna, or from His dedicated devotees. And so Srila Prabhupada was the one pure devotee that we know of within our lives. So it's always important to acknowledge His grace onto us. So Srila Prabhupada says in Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, appears in human society as an ordinary human being, but acts very uncommonly for the well-being of the entire world. So notice this. A person, appears in human society. Then he goes on to say, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has declared Himself to be the supreme enjoyer of everything. Which verse is that? Bhaktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvlok Maheshwaram. In Gita, Bhagavan, Lord Krishna, has declared Himself to be the supreme enjoyer of everything, the supreme proprietor of every planet, and the supreme friend of all beings. So, very careful use of words by Lord Krishna Himself when He spoke to Arjuna. Lord Krishna is the perfect teacher. He knows how to teach us. So He Himself says, I'm the supreme enjoyer. So the really question, the title of the talk was God's inner life. That's an intriguing thing, right? So what is God's nature? I'm just using the term God. We call God Sri Krishna. What is God's nature? This, in Sanskrit, this is one of the few places where I use Sanskrit, is called Swarupa. So Rupa means form, Swa means one's own. So one's own form, but it means something more than just that. It means one's essence, which is within itself and independent of anything outside of it. So for God, Sarup means His essential, self-existent, non-dependent identity. Are you all following me? Yeah? Let me know if I'm being confusing. So, we have to understand that means His essential identity of God, His essence, is called Swarupa. So it's not just a body, it has His very being. His very being is called Swarup. Okay? And it's described typically in Sanskrit, Sat Chid Ananda Vigraha. Yes, some of you are shaking your head. You've heard that terminology. Not that God has a body, because nothing external can define His Swarup, His identity, because it is outside of Him. It has to be within Him. But that His form is identical with His essence. For us, so I've put a little simple table. On the left hand is us. We have material body, right? And then on the right hand is God. So we have a body, and God has a form. For us, our form, the body, is not ourselves, correct? We have experience of this. Our form is not our identity. But for him, his form is his very self. For us, how do we know our form is not us? Because our form has changed from childhood to middle age to, seniors. But we know something within us is still Bhakta Jeff. What's your name? Divya. Bhaktin Divya, right? We know that. So that means our form is temporary. Our body's temporary, but God's form, Shri Krishna's form, is eternal. Are you following this? So far? Okay. So it is described in our scriptures, in Bhakti Sandarbha and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, that God is self-luminous. What does self-luminous means? Something that illuminates. The light bulb itself is luminous, correct? But does it illuminate itself? Is it aware of itself? No. God is different. It is self-established, meaning He is the absolute truth. Absolute truth means one from which, for one for whom nothing has cause. Janmadi asya yataha. That individual, that personality who existed before existence, material existence, he's independent. Swarat. He's not dependent on someone or something else. And he's complete. He's not lacking something. We act in the material world because we are in need of something. We strive for something. Why? Because it's not within us. But God is not like that. He's complete. Purnam. You're following back the Jeff? You're following?
Yes.
Okay. He's complete. We act out of need. God does not have a need because He's complete. He's Atma Rama. So these are qualities of His essential nature. I have some key slides here, like take-home messages. So our scriptures teach us that God is not just a conscious being. After all, we're conscious beings. He is an experiencing personality who experiences, relates, and relishes, like we do. So He has an inner life. He has an inner life. And the sooner we know about His inner life, the better will be our activities of bhakti. Whether it be chanting, hearing, reading, worshipping the Lord, serving the devotees. We have to understand that God has an inner life. Srila Prabhupada said so many times that bhakti means to give pleasure to the Lord. How will we give pleasure to a being that we have no concept of what gives that being pleasure? We'll just put our identity into God. So what does it mean for Lord to have an inner life? For us it means our thoughts, our emotions, our experience. Your thoughts are not the same as my thoughts. Your emotions are not the same as mine. Your experiences are not the same as mine. So we all have an inner life, right? And it's a psychological inner life. That's called psychology. For God, this is an infinite, fully self-aware, blissful internal reality. But something very important, it is relational. Relational to what? To everything outside of him. In one way, Lord Krishna says in Gita, I am in everything, but nothing is within me. A perplexing statement, inconceivable statement, called Achinta Bheda Bheda. There was a terminology created by Sri Jiva Goswami. So, we have an inner life, and Lord Krishna has an inner life. But our inner life is not the very essence of our being, right? How do we know that? Because it keeps changing, depending on time, place, and circumstance. But his inner life is the very part of his being. It is not a temporary psychological state like it is for us. We may have been born in an Indian body this life, and therefore we may have some cultural upbringing and cultural affections. Somebody who's born in the U.S., were you born in the U.S.? So, your parents will find out as you get older that your emotions and inner beings are different. You're from them, but you're not them. A very famous poet by the name of Khalil Gibran, beautiful Lebanese poet, wrote that about parenting. So his is persistent, unchanging inner life. So what is the key to understanding the inner life, and how is it different? Why and how is it different than ours? There's this term again, Swarup. His very essence, Shakti. We have Sarva Shakti, one of the devotees here. Shakti means potency or energy. In this case, Swarup Shakti means his internal energy. He has something outside of him, like the entirety of creation, and that is called Bhairanga Shakti, external to him, but still his potency. And then what are we? Are we Swarup Shakti or are we Bhairanga Shakti? We're called marginal, Tatishta Shakti. Means we can, by our use of free will, or whatever component of it we have, we can face towards the Swarup Shakti, or we can face towards external energy. This is a struggle that's eternal for all living beings. So, but different than us is that Lord's Swarup Shakti is not external to him, it's internal. It's not created. It's not dependent on us being born in India or US or China or wherever. It's not symbolic, it's not pretension, it's his very essence. It's his internal, intrinsic experience. We all have experience, but ours is not an eternal experience, it's a temporary experience. Do you follow? Am I making sense to the Srila Prabhupada disciples? I didn't ask that. I said, am I making sense? Okay. Okay. This is a favorite thing that wives like to ask their husbands. They don't say, are you hearing me? They say, are you listening to me? Because they know the nature of some of us. So Bhagavan, Lord's Swarup, his identity, is not just his form. It includes that. That's called Vigraha, body. But it's eternal, spiritual, and it's fully conscious. That's why you can put food in front of Jaisacinandana, and that food becomes prasadam, because through all their senses are interchangeable, and they can access that external object and becomes prasadam. He has qualities. His qualities are called gunas, like sweetness, omniscience. Srila Prabhupada used to say a perfect definition of God is He's omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. 3 omnis. So He has this. He's beautiful. He's bhushna bhushna, the ornament of the ornaments. He's compassionate. He's sweet. And He's all-knowing. He has activities called lila. Lila literally means play. Means loving exchanges, pastimes. That's what we call them. He has relationships. That's called rasa. Rasa. The taste, the nectar of relationships. He's a friend, he's a child, he's a lover. These are not additions to Him. They're intrinsic to who He is. Oops, excuse me. So, inner life, in essence, is lila. And a key thing to understand is it's not static. It's dynamic. It's continuous. It's eternal. It's not that Lord Krishna is, the child of Yashoda just for that one time when He appeared in Braj Bhumi 5,000 years ago. That pastime is continuously occurring in some other universe. For Krishna, our Lord and Master, this includes His Leela includes playing with His friends. You like to play with your friends, right? Being cared for by Yashoda, by His mother. Love between the gopis and Himself and the Brajvasis. And the transformations. We experience transformations when we interact with people. When you interact with your parents, you experience something. When you interact with your friends, you experience something different. When you interact with your spouse, you experience something different. Our transformations are temporary. His are not. This is Shri Jaisacinandana Dev Ki Jai. These are not metaphors or temporary conditions. This is God's lived internal reality. So, our Vaishnava scripture states something very profound. God experiences emotions. And I'm not here to quarrel about which is better or which is worse. Our acharyas have explained that, follow your path, and others will also follow Krishna's path, knowingly or unknowingly. That's okay. Because of His inner essence, His sarup, He feels love. He feels separation. He feels longing. He feels need for fulfillment. Do we have that feeling within us? Do we feel love? Do we feel separation? Do we feel longing? No? Do we feel fulfillment at times? Yes. But His key is, His is not due to some innate lack of something He doesn't have. He's Purnam, He's complete, He has everything. Ours comes from a lack. Or ours comes from an imperfection that we may have at a time, place. His is not. They're expressions of His inner bliss, His completeness. If we understand these things, we will understand the very personal nature of bhakti. It is extremely personal. It's not a formality. Not a formality. It's an act of love. So, a little bit technical. There's a structure to his, God's, Sri Krishna's divine experience. That is called rasa. So rasa means the experience of love. Originally, when the concept of rasa was described by Bharat Muni thousands of years ago, he is the most complete author of drama in the history of the world. He described it that there's an actor or an actress, and there's a play, and there's an audience. The feeling that the audience gets when it watches the play is called rasa. Now, he viewed it with both material experience. So that's called Natya Shastra. But for us, Sri Rupa Goswami and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Madhavendra Puri, it wasn't just material experience, it's an eternal spiritual experience of love. In the mundane world, we may have rasa for pizza, or rasa for whatever, those. But this is talking about spiritual love. So God's inner world of rasa, or loving exchanges, as Srila Prabhupada called them, the mellow of loving exchange, is that there's an object and there's a subject. There's an object of our love, and he is God, Sri Krishna. And there's the subject, which is us, or trying to be us, the devotees. There's a technical term called Vishaya and Ashraya. You don't have to remember any of that. So for Sri Krishna, Lord Krishna, God, there are 5 primary loving exchanges called rasas. He's a friend. He experiences friendship. He experiences parentalhood. He can be a parent. He can also experience being a child. Servitude. He can accept our service, yet he can serve Nanda Maharaj or the cows. There's something called neutrality, called Shanta and Ras. Now some of our predecessor acharyas view that as a stage of neutrality. It's the experience of Lord as God, as majesty, power, potency. But that's not what our acharyas are trying to give us the experience of. Because in that sense, one's intimacy with God goes away. When you say God is great, then how do you become intimate with God? How do you feed God? How does Nanda Maharaj discipline God, if that's the case? How do the gopis love him if he's so great? They cannot. And there's conjugal love. So these are the modes of divine experience for God. Still following me? Yes? Okay. So this is also a key slide. So God is both the subject and the relisher of the experience of love. He can be the object of love, or he can experience love. There are two sides of his divine experience, his inner life. One is that he is loved by all of us and all of creation. The other is he relishes being loved. He's not a block of stone or a piece of wood. So when we go up there to do, Archanam, or at our deities at home, then when Sripada Mataji leaves in the morning and says, "Have a nice day," he's experiencing that. He's not just pieces of wood or stone. He's experiencing love. This person cares for me. And he's relishing it. This mutual exchange of both receiving love and relishing love is essential to being God, to being Krishna. It's not just a side note on top of power, potency, opulence, fame. It is who he is. But to do it at this level, he requires internal potency. And what's that called? Sarup Shakti. Because our material awareness or consciousness cannot experience or explain infinite bliss. Can we experience infinite bliss? That means forever, in all time, all space, all circumstances. Can we experience that? No. Perfect relationships. Can we experience that? Not really. Eternal emotional exchange. Mother and child, forever and ever. Can we experience that? No. So there needs to be something unique within him, a distinct internal potency called Sarup Shakti. Unlike us, this allows him to experience love without limitation. Experience love without a limitation of time, place, or circumstance. To experience emotion without suffering. We get married, we're happy. People get divorced, they're sad. We eat some food, we feel good. A couple hours later, we feel hungry and discomforted. We experience relationships and we become dependent. Or we want dependency. He's not like that. But the unique quality of him that allows this to occur is his Sarup Shakti. This is another, I'm basically coming towards the end of my talk, but then I'm going to speak more. So what is God's experience and existence? They're united, they're not separate. This is a long sentence. God's inner experiential reality is dynamic. It's self-luminous consciousness. It's blissful exchanges through the potency of his Sarup Shakti, in which he eternally experiences and relishes love. That's called rasa. So his reality, unlike ours, is not static. It is dynamic, unchanging. He's not just the object of devotion, he's also the experiencer of love. He's not just the object of loving devotion, he's also the experiencer of love. I have 2 essence slides, and then I'll speak something more. So love achieves completion when it's reciprocated and relished. right? In a marriage, if one person's loving and the other person's ignoring, that leads to unhappiness. That's incomplete. When a child receives something from the parent, but child doesn't show affection towards their parent, then something's missing. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, what's our number one verse that we always recite from Bhagavad Gita? Can anybody say it? Don't be scared. Huh?
Give us a hint.
Chapter 18. Sarva. So it means, yes, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, give up all varieties of religious activity, dharma, and surrender unto me. I'll protect you from all sinful reaction. So somebody asked Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, when Sri Ramananda Roy, an associate of Lord Chaitanya, was asked by Lord Chaitanya to speak about God and rasa specifically, and Sri Ramananda Roy recited Sarva Dharman Pratyaje verse, Mahaprabhu said, go deeper. And so somebody asked Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, and this is very profound, listen carefully, why did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ask Ramananda Roy to go deeper in the verse that we all consider our primary verse, Gita? And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said, what does it say about the son if the father has to ask him to love him? What does it say for the son if the father has to ask his son to love him? Do you follow? A very profound statement. It has to be reciprocal to be relished. God is not merely loved. He knows, feels, and relishes being loved. So when we chant our japa, He can experience the love that we're feeling for Him or not feeling for Him, or our distraction. He knows, He feels, and He relishes that. And He actively participates in that. How do we know? Because we've all felt at moments the bliss of bhakti, correct? Chanted something nicely, read something profound, heard a beautiful kirtan, even honored really sumptuous prasadam, etc. So we can feel that. What is that? That's the experience of bhakti. So the absolute truth is not just existence, and it's not just knowledge, but it's love reciprocated and received and exchanged. But our love for Him is not fully knowable to Him unless it is lived by Him within Himself. So, if we love somebody, but they don't experience that love, then they're not living in that relationship. So, this experience for God can only be fully known by being the one who loves. And therefore, who enters into the equation? Srimati Radharani, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all of us, Gaur Bhaktavinda, all the devotees of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So we should engage in acts of bhakti. This is the last slide. We should engage in the acts of bhakti, understanding these, I don't want to call them concepts, but the essence of the Lord. He is to be loved, but He also relishes loving. I've talked about Sarup Shakti. So I'll get a little bit technical here. So Sarup Shakti has divisions. And you don't have to remember this, called Haladni, Samvit, and Sandhani. Haladni is what is called Ananda. Almost everybody has heard of Ananda. We have Ananda Shakti, Mataji here. Hare Krishna. So it is his most dear inner self. It is bliss. What is another name for Haladni or Ananda Shakti? Another name for Haladni or Ananda Shakti is called Bhakti. Yes, what we are trying to practice. It is his energy. It is he himself. Who gives us bhakti? Sri Krishna, God, gives us bhakti. Bhakti is not within us. It is not a gift we possess. It has to be planted there by God or those that are near and dear to him, like Srila Prabhupada. Bhakti has to give a gift, you have to have a gift, right? Come Christmas time, if our parents don't have the present, then they can't give us the present. They have to have the present. So, Lord Krishna or his eternal devotees have bhakti. And the grace of God is giving bhakti to us. And when we practice bhakti, it's with a reciprocal relationship of extending our love to Sri Krishna. And, however, so that gives us happiness, right? When we do that nicely, that gives us happiness. But Sri Krishna is his bliss is increasing. His Ananda, his Haladni Shakti, his bliss is increasing when he recognizes and experiences our bliss in bhakti. So if you think about this really carefully, so when you're chanting japa. So when you're chanting japa, hopefully with happiness and bliss, and he's experiencing bliss of bhakti, what is he experiencing bliss of? Who or what is he experiencing bliss of? What's your name?
Gopal.
Gopal. Okay. He's experiencing the bliss of, I don't mean to pick on you. He's experiencing the bliss of Gopal, but ultimately what is he experiencing? Whose bliss is he experiencing? His own self. Do you realize how profound that is? Sri Jiva Goswami spent the entire Bhakti Sandarbha proving that. So Bhagwan, Lord Krishna, God, is experiencing the bliss of his own self, his Ananda, through the acts of bhakti that he has transmitted to us through his grace. And by us doing those acts, performing those acts with conscious presence, gives us bliss, and his bliss increases. How is that? That's called acting for the pleasure of God. Most devotees say, "My Lord, may I please you with my activity," right? I might be cooking, I might be cleaning the toilet, I might be playing guitar, but may these activities please you. What does that mean? May I increase your bliss, because after all, you're the giver of bhakti to me. As one lost in the wilderness, to use the biblical term, lost in the wilderness, anadi avidya, to use a Sanskrit term, eternal, not just now, innumerable lifetimes of ignorance. To receive the grace of bhakti is an act of inestimable grace for a living being. For all of you to be here and to hear about Lord Krishna and to chant His holy name and to see His form and to see His dear devotee, Srila Prabhupada, as an act of inestimable grace, a gift that cannot be matched by anything or anyone. Why? Because it can deliver us from this material consciousness of constant ignorance. Most of us don't even remember this life. Vedavati Mataji, can you recall what you were doing when you were 5?
Playing with cars.
I'm happy you didn't say playing with cards. Were you driving? Model cars. Can we remember what you were doing when you were 5 in your prior life? Your lives, 10 lives before that? Your lives, 1 million lives before that? No, we cannot. But those emotional experiences have left an imprint on us. That's why somebody likes something and somebody else hates that thing. Because we have past life impressions. These are called samskaras. And they're embedded on our hard drive, called the chitta. The chitta. And this hard drive has layers and layers. Imagine immeasurable lifetimes of experience that we've had. A comforting thing to know from this is that there's nothing that has happened to us or will happen to us that we haven't experienced before. Maybe comforting, maybe not so comforting, depending on your point of view. Whenever we see something, our intelligence immediately scans the hard drive. Say, hey, what was your experience with this? And this is instantaneous. And the hard drive will say, I didn't like that experience, or I liked that experience. And then instruction will be given to us to go act or not act on that exposure. Bhakti specifically wipes that hard drive. Cheto darpanam marjanam, as Mahaprabhu's word. It wipes that hard drive from prior material experiences. So we can see with a different hard drive. A lot of people here are computer professionals. I'm not, but I use computers just like everybody else. We know. Our hard drive crashed. But how many times has our hard drive crashed? At death, for immeasurable lifetimes, our hard drive crashes, right? Because we have no remembrance of past life. So bhakti directly cleanses that hard drive. Sadhana bhakti does that. Why? Because by cleansing that hard drive is capable of receiving the love of Lord Krishna and His devotees, and building experiences of sadhana bhakti, love, little, what do they call them? Little acts of love. They act, they build up. Bhagwan relishes He relishes so we feel happiness. We do more because we feel happiness. Like that. So remember what Srila Prabhupada said, Bhagwan is Lord is a person. And He's a supreme enjoyer. But we've been discussing this in our Bhagavatam classes, or discussion groups. You never see Krishna enjoying by Himself. We may sneak off into the pantry and have the box full of gulab jamuns or whatever, but He's not doing that. He's relishing with other beings. Whether it's the cows, whether it's the Yamuna, whether it's the trees, whether it's the gopis, whether it's parents. In the spiritual world, stone melts. Rivers stop flowing. Because the power of that loving exchange between Krishna and all of creation. Vancha kalpatribhya cha kripo sindhabhyo cha patita nam pavanabhyo vaishnabhyo namo namaha. The curtain hasn't opened, so questions, comments, reflections, comments. I hope it was not too philosophical. He'll bring a mic. Shripada Mataji. Shripada Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Beautiful class, Jaisacinandana. Thank you. It's important to hear this because bhakti is a deep process.
Yes.
So we all need to try to go deep in bhakti. I do have a question.
Yes.
Since in the spiritual world we have spiritual form.
Yes.
We call it the spiritual body.
Yes.
Is it appropriate to say that in the spiritual world we are the body because it's the same as our essence?
Yes.
Okay. I once said that to a devotee and they said, no, that wasn't right.
Yeah. I mean, there's something called Siddhadeha, right? Which is the perfected body. And one achieves that by Sadhika Deha, by the practicing body. So, spiritual world has time, but the effects of time, meaning to erode items, does not exist as we know it in the material world. So, just like if we deny the existence of Krishna's eternal body, or deny the eternal existence of His flute, or His peacock feather, then we deny His existence. Because He is the peacock feather, He is the flute, He is the dham, He is rasa, akila rasmita sindhu. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
I might not have understood correctly, but we were talking about as humans we tend to become dependent on relationships. Are we supposed to?
Dependency is natural.
Right.
Dependency that's binding or hurting is not healthy. So there's something called caring, and then there's something called detached caring. I know that sounds like two opposite things. Detached caring means to care in a way that you understand that your ability comes not from you but from something outside of you. And detached receiving means to understand that the giver of the nourishment that you're experiencing comes from somewhere beyond them. Is that okay?
Yeah.
It's okay to be dependent.
Okay.
It's okay to be dependent.
Thank you.
Okay? Question? You can ask here. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I still don't. I understand, but I am not able to connect that. Krishna is whole and absolute, and then we are saying with bhakti, which gives us happiness, but it also increases his happiness through reciprocation. How does the term makes me a little difficult to understand? Is how does the word increase come to something that's already absolute and whole, and how can we have any potency to increase something that's already absolute and whole?
Yeah, it's inconceivable. It's inconceivable, but it's essential. Because if it wasn't essential, there'd be no meaning to loving exchange between us and God. So Shri Jiva Goswami called it Achinta Bheda Veda Tattva. Simultaneous being, simultaneous yes and simultaneous no. He's not needing it, but he experiences it. It's like, that drawing of the hand, drawing the hand. You've seen that? Or the stairs leading to the same stair. An artist by the name of Escher, who's a Scandinavian artist, did that. So it is conceivable. How can Shastra say Krishna is here, but he's far away? Contradictory, right? How can Shastra say God is within us, but we're not within him? Contradictory, right? So Lord Krishna is, to use Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaja's words, the harmonizer of all contradictions. Within him, opposites can flow. So, a mother has a child. A father has a child. And so there's a relationship. Mother and father. Father and child. So the two of you are here. You're a father. She's a child. But when she was a little child and she wiggled, did that change? Did that affect you? When she just showed you her teeth, did that affect you? Yes. Although you were father, you experienced the rasa of that relationship, and it increased your fatherhood, correct? I'm just giving a material example.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to pick on you, but does that make sense? Okay. I think... Okay.
Is it okay if I ask?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please, last one.
Okay, perfect.
Not because I want it to be last, but because Arati is going on.
I can ask later if
No, go ahead.
it's okay. So it's not relevant since I was a little late, but this is the question for me. Like, I'm trying to understand the meaning of jiva, which I quite don't understand since you were telling about the crashing the hard drive, right? But I still don't understand what exactly meant by the jiva. Like, is it atma, man, buddhi, or combination of all of that? And where does the atma sits in all that?
This is a complex question. It's a different lecture. I can speak about it. Paramatma Sandarbha by Shri Jiva Goswami spends entire volume exploring the nature of the Atma. Jamitra Rishi, a disciple of Sri Ramanujacharya, wrote in detail about Atma. So we can speak on this separately, but it's a very profound topic. I will try to give a lecture on Atma later. Okay? Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premrandi Hari Hari Bol. Let's stand and chant for the Lord's
His Grace
experience. Prabhupada ki jai. Anirudh, just in time. Got a nice flower. Is it a real flower? You made it? Did you make it? Very nice.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Prabhu Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Jai Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare, Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare, Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare, Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
नित्य भजम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवार का चरष्टर सदस्य श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति विनंद स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद जी महाराज की जय। नित्य भजम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवार का चरष्टर सदस्य श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत श्री ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय। गुरु परंपरा की जय। षड गोस्वामी प्रभुगण की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्रद्वैत गदाधर श्रेष्ठ गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। गंगा माई जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रील नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्री श्री निताय सचिनंदन भगवान की जय। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय। श्रीमन नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम भगवान की जय। श्री श्री नरसिंह भगवान की जय। भक्त श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलभद्र सुभद्रा महाराज की जय। चक्र सर संजीव की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। मायापुर जगपीठ की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा द्वारका धाम की जय। स्वावेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। इसको समस्त आचार्य गुरु वृंद की जय। शुभ मध्याह्न आरती की जय। मध्याह्न आरती जगदानकारी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर सीतनाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ऑल ग्लोरी सिद्धेश्वर हरे कृष्ण। ऑल ग्लोरी सिद्धेश्वर हरे कृष्ण। ऑल ग्लोरी टू गुरु एंड गौरांग। ऑल ग्लोरी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय नमस्ते नरसिंहाय नरसिम्हा पारा तो नरसिम्हा या तो यामिता तो नरसिम्हा बाहे नरसिम्हा हृदय नरसिम्हा पदं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवदिता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे ओ जय जगदीश हरे तव करकमलवरे दलिता जया केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे ओ जय जगदीश हरे जया केशवधृता हरे जया केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे ओ जय जगदीश हरे जय केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. विघ्नविनाशक श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, भक्त श्रोमणी श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की, श्री श्री निताई सचिनंदन देव भगवान की, जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की, तैगौर प्रेमानंदी। हरि हरि।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. It's a big exodus for all the kids headed out. Hari Bol. How's everyone doing? Enjoying the heat wave? I heard a yes. Yes, it'll change. That's the nature of the world. So, announcements. Anyone here for the very first time, we'd like to welcome you and greet you. Second. Did you introduce yourself last time? I don't think. Yeah. So why don't you stand up and tell us your name? I know what it is because you said it. Where are you from and what brought you here?
Gopala, and I just took a trucking job in Wilsonville.
Trucking job. Where are you from before that?
I moved here from Ohio.
Welcome. Thank you for coming and being part of our congregation. We welcome you. Let's welcome him with a loud Hari Bol. Oh, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thank you. Let us know how we can serve. Okay. Everyone who's had birthdays or anniversaries, Hari Bol. Okay, next. So this coming week is the most auspicious occasion of the Parents' Day of Shri Ramchandraji. So that's called Ram Navami. So the actual date is on Thursday, March 26th. So we have a program that day. Because it's a working day, it's a truncated program. It's in the evening from 6:30 to about 8. So 6:30 to 7:30 will be a class or a lecture on Shri Ramchandraji and the significance of his appearance and descent. Obviously, how many of you have read Ramayana? The complete Ramayana, Valmiki Rayan. Yeah. So it's massive, a class can only capture so much, right? But you can get that from a class if you haven't been introduced to it. So please come 6:30. And then at 7:30 to 8, we will do Aarti with Kirtan. And then 8 p.m. will be Prasadam. Sunday is a longer schedule because it's a Sunday. So devotees are off and all of you can come and spend time like you're doing today. So that's what we call our cultural celebration of Shri Ramchandraji's appearance. So we do that for all Shri Vishnu forms that descend, Ramchandraji, Nrsimhadev, Bhagwan, etc., etc. Which, if it's in a weekday, we'll have the actual celebration on the Tithi, the actual date of appearance of the Lord. And sometimes that's simpler, sometimes that's more ornate. But we usually will try to accompany it with a program with bhajan, dances, etc., drama, if that happens to be the case, on a day when there's more time to do that. It's hard to do that on a weekday. So that'll be on Sunday, March 29th, with that events going on. Pretty much our current timing. So sponsorship opportunities exist. Several devotees, Anonymous, Geetika Mataji, Rohit Prabhu, and Padmavati Mataji donated for Bhoga. If anybody else wants to donate, then you can do so. And flowers, there's kind of a deficit in donations for that. If you have a desire and you have appreciation for Sri Ramchandraji, then please, if he holds a placed in your heart, then please consider donating on the occasion of his descent. Okay? We shouldn't just take. We should also give. So, next. So, today's sponsorship was by Jaisacinandana Prabhu, Harsharani Mataji. Occasion? Nothing. Just happy in Krishna consciousness. Haribol. That's nice. And Harshit Prabhu and Kinjal Mataji. Harshit Prabhu, are you here? No. Oh, not you, right? Okay, I couldn't tell whether you were trying to raise your hand. Okay, so I don't know the specific occasion, do you? Okay. And then flowers, sponsored by Sripada Mataji. Sripada Mataji, special occasion? Flowers? No. Huh? No special occasion. That in itself is a special occasion. And then Sergey Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Nice to see you again. So they joined us just over, month and a half ago or a month ago? So very nice to see you and coming regularly. I'm really happy to have a Russian, Belarus, Ukrainian, I just kind of lumping it in one congregation here. You all add so much to our yatra, our congregation. Thank you for coming, all of you. Let us know what we can do to help. But it's nice to see all of you serving in some way to please the Lord. That's very, very nice. Thank you. Keep it up. And yeah, it's your birthday today. Congratulations. Sergey Prabhu ki jai. Please take blessings of the Lord. I think Ram Vanmali Prabhu will place the lotus feet of the Lord Nrsingadev. So we have on the 29th, a sponsorship by Rohit Prabhu and Padmavati Mataji, Sridhar Singham Prabhu and his family, Sri Ram's birthday. I think I saw Sri Ram.
He's not here.
He's not here, okay. I saw you. So, and Premrupa Madhi Mataji and Sri Radha Govinda Mataji in honor of Jayapataka Maharaj's Vyas Puja. And then Elijah Prabhu is also sponsoring flowers. Is Elijah Prabhu here today?
That's my son.
Okay. Wonderful. And so on. There's a couple of slots available for flower sponsorship in early April. Please consider sponsoring. Next. So, Demons in Vrindavan, April 12th, Sunday. It's about Kalya. Are you guys getting ready? One of you guys is going to be Kalya? I'm joking. That's a secret. Raman Madhpur wants to be in one of these plays, right? So anyways, these are immensely popular. I think you'll have to figure out what to do once you run out of demons, but there are plenty of them. Okay, so that's on April 12th, 11:30. So please come. Next. We have a very special... How many of you are married? Anyone? Anyone? Come on, you can raise your hand, Mataji. Don't be so shy. How many of you guys are married? Rahul is not raising his hand. Okay, well, this is for everybody who is married and for those who are looking to get married, right? You're looking at your time preparing for marriage. So you want to go for this. These are devotees who have tremendous expertise in Grihastha Ashram. First of all, they're fantastic devotees who've been serving at ISKCON Chaupati since the very beginning. They're very near and dear to His Holiness Radhanath Swami and therefore to the entire world. And their name is Dwarkadish Prabhu and Vishaka Priya Mataji. They're very nice. They have a great sense of humor. They present topics in a very approachable manner. They're unfortunately, he's a physician as well. And she's the physician of the physician. So she's very capable as well. There are two programs. One is they're here Friday and Saturday. So one will be in Bhagirath Prabhu's home. Bhagirath Prabhu, I don't see him today. and Doshna Mataji. And then April 18th is Rahul Prabhu and Richa Mataji. Can you raise your hand? So I don't see Richa Mataji. Richa Mataji. He didn't raise his hand when I asked whether he's married. So you're all, I'm joking. Cause a little trouble. No, so they're very wonderful devotees, part of big family. The head of the household is, of course, Mother Mataji. She's busy taking care of a child. I'm joking. So they're dear friends of mine, our family. So, but anyways, those are the two home programs. There's not a program at Temple because I think Prabhuji is going to Seattle, I presume. So those 2 days. Please come. It's very nice. Okay, next. And we'll have Sripada Mataji speaking from Srila Prabhupada, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So, and then will we do the lotus feet of Shri Nrsingadev? Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Happy birthday, Sergey. So this is a little long, but it's so nectarian I have to read it. I'll go a little fast. Heart-touching pastime of Srila Prabhupada. Sripad Hridayananda Babaji Maharaj was born in Radhakund and has been a pujari for 78 years. He lives next to the Radha Damodar temple. At the beginning of the interview, upon being asked if he knew Srila Prabhupada, Babaji Maharaj began to cry. Never have I seen anyone do sadhana like he did. I have lived all my life in Raj, and I have never seen anyone like him. Prabhupada did many arduous things. He worked very hard here at the Radha Damodar temple. At that time it was austere, undeveloped, and very muddy and dirty with no facilities. Many years later, when I heard that it was actually he who had been chosen by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to spread the Hare Krishna Mahamantra around the world, I was not surprised. Prabhupada spread this Krishna consciousness by the mercy of Rupa Goswami. Prabhupada used to pray to Rupa Goswami, "You please give me your mercy." And then he got that mercy. I know this because I saw some things he did at the Radha Damodar temple. My room is still located in the same place as it was then in 1964 or 65. Many times in the middle of the night at midnight or 1 or 2 in the morning, I would hear a voice crying from inside the courtyard by Rupa Goswami's Samadhi Mandir. That voice was calling out and crying, but I did not know what it was because I was trying to take rest. But one night on the full moon, I heard that voice again, so I climbed up to the roof of our house and looked down into the Radha Damodar courtyard. I saw something very amazing. Srila Prabhupada was sweeping the courtyard of Rupa Goswami's Samadhi. He was bending down with a small broom, and as he swept the ground by the Samadhi, he was crying out, "Hey Rupa, hey Sanatan, hey Gurudev, please give me your mercy. Without your mercy, I cannot do anything. Give me the mercy. Give me the strength that I may fulfill your orders." Then I realized that it was he who almost every night was calling out as he was sweeping like this. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
So, that, continuing with the lecture, that's an example of receiving grace of Bhagwan. It comes through those that are near, dear to Bhagwan. So, wonderful. I forgot to announce one thing. Chaitanya Priya Mataji, can you raise your hand? So, she lost an item last week, which are her home keys. So, okay. It's on a lanyard. It's in a lanyard. Do you mind if you? Yeah, later. She'll be here for prasadam. Yeah, you're going for prasadam, right? Yes. Yes. There's an emphatic yes. So everybody. So you can wait, Mataji, after you take blessings. Okay. So you found your keys. Hare Krishna. We'll have prasadam prayers. Prabhu, Madhusudan Prabhu, you want to sing prasadam prayer?
महाप्रसादे गोविंदे नाम ब्राह्मणे वैष्णवे स्वल्प पुण्यावतम राजन विश्वासो ने बजायते शरीरा विद्या जाल जोरेंद्रिया ताहे काल जीवे फैले विषय सागरे तारा मध्य जीवायति लोभोमय सुधर्मति ताके जेता कठिन संसारे कृष्णा बर दयामय करिवार जीव जाय स्वप्रसादन दिलो भाई स्वप्रसादन दिलो भाई से अन्नामृत पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमे डाको श्री चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री श्री निताय सचिनंदन श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह